Father Michael stood over Angela's body, his breath ragged, his mind reeling from what he had just done. He was no longer just a man of the cloth. He was now a murderer. Panic flooded his senses, and the urge to escape the situation at all costs took hold. He knew he had to cover up his crime, to make it look like an accident, something that could be explained away. He hastily began to stage the scene, trying to erase any evidence that might link him to Angela's death. He removed any items that bore his fingerprints, wiped down surfaces, and arranged Angela's body in a way that suggested she had died during one of their BDSM sessions. Michael placed the whip in a position that implied it had been an accidental strangulation, hoping that the authorities would accept this as a tragic mishap. But in his frantic state, Michael made mistakes. He overlooked small but significant details. The way Angela's clothes were disheveled, the marks on her neck that indicated a struggle, and fibers from his clothing that had transferred onto her. His attempts to clean up were rushed, and in his panic, he failed to notice that he had left behind incriminating evidence. With the scene set to look like an unfortunate accident, Michael fled the house, his heart pounding as he drove away. He prayed that his status as a respected priest would shield him from suspicion, that no one would connect him to the crime. But deep down, he knew that the truth had a way of surfacing, no matter how well one tried to hide it. The next morning, Tom returned from his business trip, completely unaware of the tragedy that awaited him. When he entered the house, he was greeted by an unsettling silence, calling out for Angela and receiving no response. He searched the house until he descended into the basement, where he made the horrifying discovery: Angela's lifeless body lying still on the cold floor. Tom's scream of anguish echoed through the house as he dialed 911, bringing the police to the scene within minutes. Initially, the officers were prepared to classify the death as an unfortunate accident during a BDSM session, something that, while unusual, was not unheard of. The scene at first glance seemed to support this theory. Angela's position, the leather, whip, and the general setup all pointed to a tragic mistake. However, as the forensic team began their investigation, inconsistencies emerged that suggested something far more sinister. On March 8th, the forensic team found that the marks on Angela's neck were not consistent with an accidental strangulation. Instead, they indicated a struggle, suggesting that someone had forcefully held the whip around her neck. This finding immediately raised red flags. Further examination revealed fibers on Angela's clothing that didn't belong to her or her husband. These fibers were traced back to the specific clothing material used in priestly garments. Additionally, the hasty cleanup job left behind smudges and partial fingerprints that couldn't be explained by an accidental death scenario.